I wanted to say this first so that when I tell you that I think President Trump is 100% right about the NFL, there's a reason I say it. There's a reason I say it, and I will explain it all. So first of all, starts out Friday, I guess it was. He's in Alabama. He's backing this guy, Luther Strange, who's kind of the establishment. You know, there's a pro-Trump candidate running against Luther Strange, but Trump doesn't care. He's backing Luther Strange. And he says, you know, Luther Strange shares our values, believes in the flag, and then he interrupts himself and says this. This is cut one.
Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a bitch off the field right now, out, he's fired. He's fired! You know, some owner's going to do that. He's going to say, that guy that disrespects our flag, he's fired. And that owner, they don't know it. They don't know. They're friends of mine, many of them. They don't know. They'll be the most popular person for a week. They'll be the most popular person in this country, because that's a total disrespect of our heritage. That's a total disrespect of everything that we stand for, okay? Everything that we stand for. And I know we have freedoms, and we have freedom of choice and many, many different freedoms. But you know what? It's still totally disrespectful.
Okay, so now the NFL goes nuts, right? First, Roger Goodall, the commissioner, he responds, he puts out a statement. He says, the NFL and our players are at our best when we help create a sense of unity in our country and our culture. Divisive comments like these, the president's comments, demonstrate an unfortunate lack of respect for the NFL, our great game, and all of our players, and a failure to understand the overwhelming force for good our clubs and players represent in our communities. And there are many, many NFL players who do a lot of good things. But when he says we help create a sense of unity in our country, remember, it's not Trump who started doing this. It's the players, Colin Kaepernick, and then a couple of other players. So then all the players get together, and where before it was just a few players who were kneeling basically in a Black Lives Matter protest against against police, what they consider police brutality. They were kneeling during the national anthem. Now a lot of them do it. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, in one of the, to me, like, maybe I'm the only person seeing this, but I thought one of the great miscalculations, right? They're at Soldier Field in Chicago. They're playing the Bears, and the entire Steelers team stays in the locker room during the national anthem, right? One of them comes out, Alejandro Villanueva, who is is that how you pronounce it? Villanueva? Villanueva, sorry. Alejandro Villanueva comes out, and he's an offensive lineman who is one of three, I believe, veterans in the NFL. And he's an Army Ranger. I think he did 3 tours overseas. And he comes out and he stands and does now to me, maybe I'm old-fashioned. To me, that makes the rest of the team look like trash. They look like garbage. Here's the guy who served. Here's the guy who did it. You go out with that guy. And the coach of the team is saying, well, we wanted more unity. We wanted more unity. You know what? You look bad. You look bad. And just so you know, it's against the rules. The rules of the NFL, page A6263 of the league's game operations manual. This is what it says. The national anthem must be played prior to every NFL game, and all players must be on the sideline for the national anthem. These are the rules that you sign up for when you sign a contract. During the national anthem, players on the field and bench area should stand at attention, face the flag, hold helmets in their left hand, and refrain from talking. The home team should ensure that the American flag is in good condition. It should be pointed out to players and coaches that we continue to be judged by the public in this area of respect for the flag and our country. Failure to be on the field by the start of the national anthem may result in discipline such as fines, suspensions, and or the forfeiture of draft choices for violations of the above, including first offenses. Okay, so those are the rules, right? Those are the rules. And John Nolte points out that the NFL has no problem shutting down free speech. Okay, John Nolte says he points out. He says the NFL threatened fines in September of 2016. 3 NFL players plan to wear cleats in honor of the 15th anniversary of the September 11th attacks on America. The NFL put a stop to it with threats of fines. In July 2016, in honor of 5 police officers murdered in cold blood by a Black Lives Matter activist, the Dallas Cowboys wanted to honor the slain officers with a small helmet decal. The NFL put a stop to that. NFL fined players in 2015. They fined William Gay for wearing purple cleats meant to raise awareness for domestic abuse. And of course, the NFL doesn't want to raise too much awareness for domestic abuse because they'll start to notice that a lot of NFL players are domestically abusing their wives. So the NFL players are going nuts and they attack Trump. And the big thing is, oh, he's divisive. He's politicizing everything. Tom Brady, who is a pal of Trump's and a friend of his and voted for him, he said this on radio.
I mean, I certainly disagree with, what he said and thought it was just divisive and like I said, it's, I just want to support my teammates. And I always said I'm never one that says, oh, that's wrong or that's right or but I do believe in what I believe in. And I believe in bringing people together and respect and love and trust and those are the values that my parents instilled in me. And that's how I try to live every day.
So, Brady, obviously, he's in there with these other players. He's the leader of the team. He can't, go against his team. But when he says, I'm not one of the people to say this is right or this is wrong, I am. I do think that's something that all of us have to actually do is determine right and wrong. Ratings, the audience went away. Ratings dropped. And this is from an article posted on Drudge on a day full of criticisms from Donald Trump, political protests, linked arms, players taking a knee or not coming on the field during the national anthem, and renewed pleas for unity from the league. NBC and the NFL took a hit last night on Sunday Night Football in a metered market numbers. The primetime matchup between the Redskins and the Oakland Raiders was the worst Sunday Night Football has performed this season so far, an 8% dip from the early numbers. And Trump is calling for a boycott. He's saying boycott the NFL, and this will change in a big hurry. All right. First, this is not a free speech issue. Do not listen to any of the free speech thing. As I said before, the NFL is perfectly happy to fine people and stop them from exercising their free speech. We all agree that they have a right to do this. We all agree that these millionaire athletes have a right to disrespect the flag. That's not the point. The point is, if you're going to go into the end zone and dance around like a little girl for 5 minutes, and we're supposed to think you're so great, even though you didn't do something like, for instance, go to Afghanistan and fight for our freedoms, or go to Iraq and fight for our freedoms, or run into a collapsing building to save people. All you did was carry a ball across the line, and now we have to watch you dance around. You have the right to disrespect the flag, but you might consider what you look like. You look like a jerk, okay? That is the first thing. Plus, I will not be lectured to by the left on free speech, the left who shuts down free speech, these coddlers of Antifa, these people who think that hate speech isn't protected by the First Amendment, these guys who go after and sue and fine a baker because his religious beliefs will not let him cater a gay wedding, even though he'll serve gay people. He can't cater a gay wedding because it's against his religious beliefs. They'll go after him. I will not listen to the left on free speech. They have nothing to say, but we all agree they have the right. Second, this thing about divisiveness, as actually pronounced, I believe, divisiveness, is total garbage, okay? It's divisive when you disrespect the flag. The NFL started this. It was divisive right away. Their ratings are already down. The polls show that they're down in large measure because of the disrespect for the flag. So it has nothing, it has nothing to do with Donald Trump being divisive. He's just calling them out. He's calling them out on what they're doing. Divisiveness only becomes a problem when the right does it. It only we had Barack Obama in office 8 years, tore this country apart, made us all hate each other, made race relations worse, all that stuff. Divisiveness was never a problem. Now suddenly it's a problem. Bite it. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Third, and this is the one you sometimes get from high-minded people that say, well, the flag is just a piece of cloth and kneeling is not disrespecting it. It's not like turning your back on the flag. It's not like all baloney, all baloney. The flag is a symbol of the country. The flag represents the country. Symbols are important in human life. We're all just human beings. We are not like floating minds in a test tube. We're human beings with hearts and souls. When we see the flag, it represents our country. You stand for the flag. That is what you do. Okay. Now, here are the 3 reasons why you don't respect the flag no matter what you believe, okay? Because I understand, I disagree with the Black Lives Matter people. I think the cops do a pretty good job even in their neighborhoods, but I'm not there. And I understand that the experience of being a black guy in these neighborhoods dealing with the cops is different than an experience being a white guy like me driving around. I get stopped by a cop. He's like, "Hello, sir." I say, "Yes, officer." I give him my license. He slaps me with a $500 ticket or whatever it is in LA now. I understand that this is a different experience, and I understand the emotions. I disagree with them politically. It's not a disagreement of hate or wanting to see them be abused. It has nothing to do with that. But 3 reasons you don't disrespect the flag. You have the right to protest because you live in this country, because people died for that right and are dying now and die every day and fight for your right to do that. And the flag represents your right to do it. So when you are exercising that right, you don't exercise it against the flag. It makes no sense. You exercise it within the context of the flag. You salute the flag because you have the right to make the protest that you want to make. Secondly, the very thing that you're demanding is an American value. You are demanding equal justice under the law. You are demanding to be treated by the police as if you were the important person in an exchange with the police, which you are. It is not the cop who's important. It's you who's important. And your rights are important, whether even when you're guilty, your rights are important. The justice you're demanding is represented by that flag. So when you disrespect the flag, you're actually sending this incredible mixed message. The American justice system that you want is represented by the flag. It's like Martin Luther King said the smartest thing about this. He said he called on America to live up to the meaning of its creed. Okay, to call on America to be more American is an American thing to do. When the left says it's patriotic to protest, I don't believe it's patriotic necessarily, but it is American to protest. We've been protesting from the very beginning. The flag represents that. And 3, the only reason we give a crap about you at all is because you're an American, because you live with us under that flag. It's not because, black people were held slaves. You weren't there. That didn't happen. I didn't do it. I got no interest in that. It's not because I agree with you. I don't agree with you. It is not because you're some multimillionaire who throws a ball around and works 16 days a year. All right, that's a little unfair, but still, you're one of the privileged people in the world. It is not because I care about you, because you are my fellow American, because we are both protected by that flag and by this country. And so when you disrespect that, you disrespect me, you disrespect my concern for you, you disrespect the only reason I care about who you are. And it is just absolutely insulting. It's absolutely insulting. Now let's talk about Donald Trump for a minute. I'm going to stay on just to get through this, and then we'll go to Knowles. But you won't be able to see Knowles unless you come on over to thedailywire.com, because we'll have to leave Facebook and YouTube. But if you subscribe, you could just watch the whole thing. If you just watch the lousy $10 a month, and for a year, it's $100 a month, and you get the Leftist Tears tumbler. But let me just finish this thought, all right? Donald Trump. Donald Trump pulls the same trick on these clowns every single time. I keep hearing how stupid he is, how ignorant he is. He pulls the same trick. They keep falling for it. Me think maybe it's them who be stupid, okay? Because what he does is he takes something that most normal, everyday Americans agree with, okay? I think the number is 72% of people believe that you should stand during the national anthem. 72% of Americans disagree. You can't get 72% of Americans to agree about anything. Sugar is sweet, maybe. You'll get like 68%, but 72%. So he takes an issue where he knows he's safe, not just with his base, but with most normal human beings. And then he expresses it in this kind of grotesque, over-the-top way. So it's like, instead of saying, well, I have faith in God, he'll say, I have faith in God, and anybody who doesn't have faith in God is an idiot. He says they ought to go out and say you're fired. They ought to say, tell that SOB this and that. So people instantly react. They instantly seize up, and immediately he has his opponents opposing the flag. He has these clowns, the Democrats, sitting around going, no, let's disrespect the flag. I mean, the other day he goes to the UN and he delivers that speech against North Korea and Kim Jong-un, and there were leftist commentators, Chelsea Handler, she's saying, I'd rather have Kim Jong-un as my president. You go like, yeah, so now nothing she says means anything ever again. So it's a brilliant political tactic. I don't see why he shouldn't use brilliant political tactics. Obama trolled us for 8 years. Trump is trolling us back. So now this is what comes from the right, okay? And I sympathize with this. People say, oh, everything is political. The Wall Street Journal have this editorial today. Oh, everything is political. Can't we just have our sports? Can't we just have our showbiz? Why is everything political? Donald Trump is making everything political. Nonsense. Donald Trump did not make everything political. Everything is political because the left took over our communications industry and our news industry. That's why everything is political. For 10 years, 15 years, I've been going to conservative conferences, on cruises, conservative cruises. We've been saying, take back the culture, take back the culture. This is how you take back the culture. And people say, well, the president shouldn't do it because he represents all of us. But that's garbage. Every Hollywood actor attacks us. Every mainstream news show attacks us. Every late night comic. Who's going to speak for us? Who has a voice loud enough to speak for us except for the president? He is in the right on this. He did the right thing. He is taking back the culture. American culture is not opera. American culture is reality TV and football and all the, movies and all this stuff. And the only person who has a voice loud enough to counter the steady stream of leftist garbage that we get buried under every day is Donald Trump, and he's doing it. And you know what? I'm for it. I'm for it. Do it. These guys, these privileged guys dancing in the end zones at their own achievements, they should salute the damn flag. I love the NFL. I love football. I will stop watching it if they keep doing this. I will stop. It will not kill me to stop. I'll watch college football. If they do it, I'll stop watching that. I'll just do crossword puzzles. I'll be fine.